Hi guys, today on Bite Size Rangers history, looking into some of the most unusual or fascinating aspects of Rangers history. I'm going to talk about the contentious subject of the bike that adorns the Rangers trophy room at Ibrox. And just before I do that, just to remind you, if you enjoy the channel, please hit the subscribe button and the little bell notification. And if you particularly like any of the videos, please hit the thumbs up. It does massive things for the channel. So, on to the subject. Many visitors to Rangers Stadium, Ibrox, that go into the trophy room are amazed to find among some of the jewels there a racing bicycle. And many people ask, how did we come by that? And the trophy room at Ibrox has got a host of, obviously, cups and things that the teams have won, but there's a lot of gifts that we exchange normally in European games or glamour friendlies with our opposition, and there's lots of things there. There's things fascinating from, there's a team in Poland that's got a nice vase that's actually made out of a piece of coal, because that area was, I think it was Gornik, their area is known for coal mining. So there's a lot of very, very peculiar gifts that take some exploration to find out the reason behind them. But the bike is such a gift. It wasn't won by the club, it was a gift that we would receive from one of our many opponents through the years. And there seems to be a bit of contention over the origins of the bike and where we got it from. And the two stories are similar, that we received the gift from French clubs. And one that suggests we played Racing Club Paris. It was either the 50s or 60s we played them, possibly both. And there's a suggestion that we got the bike from them. And at some point, previous history of the trophy room, there was a small sort of, cardboard plaque which told the story of this gift from Racing Club Paris. The second story is the one that's probably the most popular theory, and that is that we played St Etienne in 1975 during the 75-76 season in the European Cup, a tournament that St Etienne went all the way to the final that year, only to be beat by Bayern Munich 1-0 at the final in May 76 at Hampden. And the suggestions there ranged from a few different ideas. One being that the owner of, or one of the directors of St Etienne owned a bike company, and that was the reason for the gift. Another suggestion is that St Etienne was the hometown of the most recent Tour de France winner. And these stories are, often discussed by folk, the older generation of the Rangers fans. I think the younger generation are just totally bemused that there's a bicycle in the trophy room. However, there's two bits of information that I'll put into the mix, and they go some way to me to decide where I believe the origins of the bike come from. And the first story was, I was very fortunate to be in the trophy room a few years ago, not that long ago, and it was during the time of, it was either the World or European Bike Championships in Glasgow, and there was cyclists from all over the world in the city. And this particular day, one of the journalists that was over covering the competition was a football fan, and obviously a cycling fan due to his cycling journalist occupation. And he was absolutely amazed to see a racing bike in our trophy room. And I got chatting to the chap, the Belgian chap, and asked him, he asked, where it was from, and said, there's a couple of different possibilities here. So I asked him, what he knew about the bike. And he said that in the 70s, the manufacturer Manu France, which is the name that's on the bicycle, were, quite a decent quality of racing bike manufacture. And they suggested that, that bike, it was probably more likely to be from the 70s due to the gears, the brakes and the mechanics of the whole thing. So that would let me feel a wee bit safer that it wasn't from a 50s or 60s game against Racing Club Paris, because this guy, who I would imagine, got more expert opinion in bikes and the evolution of racing bikes than me, he suggested to me that this bike was from the 70s because of the manufacturer it was and because of the mechanics that were used on it. And since then I've done a wee bit of digging myself, and I found out that Manu France, the manufacturer of the bike, they're actually from a town, St Etienne. So I think we've then narrowed it down to the bike's origins. And there was also, as I say, there was a suggestion that they gave this bike away in honour of the most recent Tour de France winner, which would have been the summer of 75, so that would have been the one before us. 74 Tour de France was won by the Belgian cyclist Eddy Merckx, who was quite a famous cyclist, and his run of almost domination of the Tour de France finished in 74. And you'll need to excuse the ignorance here with my pronunciation, but it was indeed a French cyclist, Bernard Therinet. I hope any of French watchers don't fall out with me with the pronunciation here. But he won the Tour de France in 75, which would have been the most recent, to when we played November 75, these ties against St Etienne. But Bernard was not from St Etienne. He was actually born in a town about 120, 130 miles north of St Etienne. So I doubt that was the reasons for the bike, and it's probably more to tie in with where the bike was manufactured in the town of St Etienne. So I'm quite happy to put my reputation at stake and suggest that the bike was from the St Etienne Games based on where it was made and the time of the bike's manufacture. I'd probably dispel the notion that it was because to honour the guy who was born 120, 130 miles away, and it was probably, there would be some tie-in either just through a love for the local company, or potentially there could have been a director or someone high up in St Etienne had something to do with Manu France, the bike's manufacturer. But yeah, it's a fascinating thing. There's some mad stories about the bike. There's a bit of folklore, I don't know if true or not, about Gaza being found cycling up and down the corridor one time in the bike, much to the despair of Walter Smith at the time, as the story goes. So, but it's a fascinating piece of a trophy room, and it draws many a conversation from people when they visit the trophy room. So it's a fascinating item, and I'm sure we'll cover some of the other fascinating items in the trophy room in future podcasts. So thanks very much for watching again, and remember, give a wee thumbs up if you enjoy the story, and have a great day.